6 months ago, Allie Pepper joined us on the back page, having just begun her record-breaking project to climb all 14 of the world's tallest mountains, without additional oxygen and in the fastest time possible. Allie had already climbed Broad Peak and Manaslu in the Himalayas last year, and while she'd also topped Annapurna, treacherous conditions forced her to use bottled oxygen. So she returned in April to successfully do it again, during what she described as the longest summit push of her life. But it took a brutal toll, suffering a frozen eyeball and vision loss during the climb. Then just 4 weeks ago, Allie made history by becoming the first Australian woman to conquer Mount Makalu in Nepal without oxygen, a climb considered by many to be tougher than Everest. She's now a third of the way into her quest and is documenting every grueling step as she encourages all women to overcome their physical and mental hurdles. And she joins us right here, right now. Welcome back. Lovely to see you. Congratulations on actually getting back, which is good. I can't think of anything but your frozen eyeball.
I know.
How the hell does that happen?
It was in the night time, so it was very dark and very windy from the left side. And I don't remember too much of it. I just remember being very cold. I didn't have any glasses on because it was dark, and this eye getting colder and colder, and all my eyelashes were frozen, and then I just really noticed with my head torch that eye just got blurry, and then when it got light, I realised I actually couldn't see out that eyeball very well.
Has it improved?
Yeah, so that actually didn't take too long to get better.
So I wanted to pop it out and put it in the brony.
Surprisingly, it was just a few days putting eye drops in, and that got better, so I was very fortunate.
Last year you got within 400 metres from the top of Everest, and you had to turn back. How devastating was that?
It was a blow, because it took a long time to get to that height, and I spent 2 nights at the South Col, which is just below 8,000 metres, and really bad headaches, and could hardly eat and everything. And
that's not even the one Santa's on.
And so when I got to that height, I got hit by wind, and it was so cold, so I started to get very quickly hypothermic, and I turned around. So it seems so close, but it was so far.
You said it took a long time. How long did it take to get to that point?
It took I think I left the camp around 7 at night and got there about 1 in the morning. So quite a few hours already.
Incredible. Is the process, I know Tony mentioned before about reaching the milestone of the 14 peaks, and you are so restricted, is probably not the word, but hampered by things like weather and conditions. You really just have to surrender to it, I would imagine, at times. Is it progressing, I guess, to time like you would hope? Are you on track at the moment?
Yeah, so I think this season, climbing 2 in a row, no other Australian woman's been able to climb 2 8,000ers in one season without oxygen. And I was pretty happy with that, considering both of them were quite hard ones as well. And Annapurna's very dangerous, and Makalu has a very, very long summit push. So I was pretty happy to make both. And actually, the first one on Annapurna, we went from the base camp to the summit in 5 days. And then on Makalu, we went to the summit in 4 days from the base camp. So we got to the base camp and rested for a few days, and then just went straight up. And
so why do you decide to go without oxygen and other climbers go with oxygen? Is it a greater challenge, or it's just...
It's definitely a greater challenge. It's definitely a greater challenge. It's probably around 10 times harder, maybe a bit more, if you look at the statistics of how many people can climb without oxygen. But the first peak I ever did without oxygen, Choyu, in 2007, I just started climbing that way. I've been guiding at high altitude for quite a few years, and I just didn't even consider using it, to be honest. And so once I knew that I could do it, then I just wanted to keep challenging myself.
You're obviously very physically fit, and you must be mentally incredibly strong. But when is your brain, how far into a climb, you're talking about 4 days, 5 days, how far into a climb is your brain, the rational part of your brain saying, we're not supposed to be doing this, this is actually not normal?
Yeah, there's like a lot. It's really a mind game, to be honest, because it doesn't matter how fit you are. Like if your mind isn't strong and you don't like to suffer, like let's be honest, like if you don't like to suffer because it's a long time like really cold, it's a long time not being able to breathe properly, and it's very difficult to step, and your hands are cold, your feet are cold, like your whole body's cold.
That sounds like fun.
And so it's a lot of suffering, and yeah, so my mind is like all the time saying like, you know, it'd be so much easier just to go home and be warm.
From the start, basically.
From the start.
Wow.
So, I mean, obviously the higher I get, like above 8,000 metres, which they call the death zone, like your body is slowly dying, that's obviously the hardest part, is just to continue stepping it forward. And I just have learnt to just shut that side of my brain off.
If that is known as a death zone, how does your body, how is it so different? How can you survive?
You can't survive there like for that long. That's why, yeah. So you just have to try to go up and come back in the shortest amount of time that you can.
What about physically, I guess, in the last few weeks? Because as you mentioned, to do Annapurna and Makalu back to back, as it were.
Yeah.
This has only been 4 weeks now. How actually do you recover to, I guess, then reload and go again?
Yeah, just, I don't know, like I just eat a lot.
I do too.
and I rest, and yeah, I try to use my brain, like honestly, because my brain is like a cabbage after, like I can't remember people's names. It's really hard to have a conversation. So I really try to use my brain to get my brain back, which is probably the hardest part.
Wordle's pretty good.
Just quickly, sometimes it is fraught with danger working with your partner, but when what you do is actually fraught with danger as well, that should be difficult because Mikkel is part of the team.
Yes, so Mikkel, my partner, we climb together and we're together, and no, it's great. Like, I know it sounds like a strange thing, but he loves mountaineering and it's his passion and it's his work, and we don't argue, we make decisions together on the mountain. So if he decides, you know, we need to quickly hurry through a section because it's dangerous or whatever, I do my best to try to. He's obviously a lot faster than me because he was born in the mountains and he's a Sherpa, so I just try to keep up.
Exactly. And just finally, before we go, where are you off to next?
So I think I'm going to be going to Pakistan in July to K2, second highest mountain in the world. So yeah.
All right, well, look after that other eye. So good to catch up with you again. Well done. Absolutely amazing story. It continues to be. Coming up, our champ of the week. Stick around.